So recently, I've been meditating on why, when presented with an option, if the option is life or death, what would make a person choose death? If a person was presented with the option between heaven or hell, what would make a person choose hell over heaven? I've been meditating on that. If a person is given the option to choose eternal life in paradise and eternal damnation in the pit, what would make a person choose the pit? And my meditation obviously is in line with the studies I've been doing. And the studies are around these important kingdom questions. Now, I have my own theory that I believe is true. And that is that I believe that a person will choose death over life. They would choose hell over heaven. They would choose eternal damnation over eternal life. I believe it's because in their heart, they don't really believe that there is eternal death, a continual dying, the second death. I don't think they believe it. I don't think that people actually believe that there is a hell. I don't think so. I don't think people believe that there's a place called the bottomless pit. I don't think people believe there's a lake of fire. And when it comes to our people, I believe that the reason that they don't believe that is their whole life they were taught, once you saved, you always saved. Once you say the magic word, you in for life, past, present, and future. They don't understand. They were never taught the covenant. They don't know what salvation is. They don't know what being rescued is. The only thing they just say, well, my pastor said I'm saved, so I'm in. And then they've never been to a funeral where the pastor was honest and said that this person went to hell. Well, this person's going to hell. Because right now they're dead and they in torment. But eventually on the day of judgment, they will be brought up out of the torment, sentenced once and for all, and cast. And hell itself will be, this is Bible, I'm telling you. And hell will be cast into the lake of fire. I don't think they believe that, and they don't teach it. And they've never heard that at a funeral, that that's what happened to this person because they rejected the covenant. So if a person's mindset is that there is no second death, there is no hell, there is no eternal damnation, then I can kind of understand. I don't agree with it, but I understand why they would move away from Yah, away from the covenant, away from salvation, away from our King, because they don't see that their actions really can have eternal consequences. They don't see it. And it's very unfortunate. So then when a preacher like me show up and begin to talk about the apocalypse, I talk about the last days, I talk about the judgment that's coming upon the world, talk about the importance of waking up and returning to our covenant. I talk about the importance of humility and bowing down before our King, keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. Yeah, I talk about that stuff. One of the reasons that it disturbs people is because they don't think it matters. They don't, I mean, ain't nobody going to hell. My pastor said all you have to do is say the magic words. And everybody that they know at one time or another has said those magic words. Oh my. So there's got to be some questions, and I'm gonna talk about that in the next few minutes in this video. Go back to Luke 9. Matter of fact, let's do it together. Let's go to Luke 9. In Luke chapter 9, we're going to see another one of those important kingdom questions. Okay, Luke chapter 9, let's go in at verse 22. It says, the Son of Man must suffer many things, Bible, and be rejected of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be slain, and be raised the third day. Pause. Was he just making up something? Was he just talking? Was he a fortune teller? Or was he actually interpreting for them the Torah? Yes, the same Torah, the same book, the same laws that your preachers and your pastors and your Sunday school teachers and all that, the same law that they said is done away with. And if I had time in this video, I could go through and show you that each of the things that he mentions here, like what, more? First of all, he uses the covenant term. What is that? Son of Man. That's a covenant term concerning himself. It's a covenant title. So they're supposed to hear that title, Son of Man, and then they're supposed to go back in their mind about the actual prophesied Messiah who is called Son of Man. Then they're supposed to do the research on him and see what the Bible has already prophesied about the Son of Man. See how that works? Y'all, I know you, but still, put a 12 in the chat for the 12 tribes of Israel, because you can see that. Once I show it to you, or any seer, true seer, when I show it to you and you say, wait a minute, Moray, you gotta be kidding me. No, I'm not kidding you. Son of Man is a covenant title. That's in Torah. Must suffer many things. That's Torah. And be rejected of the elders. That's Torah. And the chief priests and scribes. That's Torah. All of that's Torah. Watch this. And be slain. That's Torah. He's interpreting the Bible to them concerning himself. And be raised the third day. All of that is Torah. If you don't know Torah, you don't know that this is Torah. You think that he's talking about some new religion called Christianity that he's just making up as he goes along. That's not what our king is talking about. Not what our king is doing. Our king asked the people, or asked his disciples, who did the people say he was? Y'all saw that. We talked about that, I think, either last video. Yeah, I think that was the last video. And then he asked them the follow-up question. He said, but who do you say I am, right? And when we looked at that, Kepha quoted Torah. He said, you, Hamashiach, you're the anointed one of Yahuwah, which falls in line, of course, with Deuteronomy chapter 18, beginning at like 15 down to 18. And it falls in line with Psalm. It falls in line with Isaiah, Jeremiah. You can go back and read all those prophets. You're going to see them talking about the Son of Man. Ezekiel, for sure, Daniel, the Ancient of Days, the Hulk, all that, right? He was able to see the prophetic. Yah gave Kepha inspiration concerning the Torah. That's why he said, flesh and blood didn't give you that. My Father gave you that. And just like the way Abba Yah continues to give us things, it's given it through his already revealed word. That's how he gives us insight. It's not magic. It's not remember, Kepha didn't fall into some trance and then Yah said, Kepha, I'm going to tell you something I've never told anyone. But he's been talking about his own redemption of his own people ever since the book of Genesis. Okay, I'm digressing, but I think you guys are catching my point. So I gotta answer my question because I see that my time is already running out. Because the way they got these videos set up, I can't do long videos, so I'm gonna hurry up and get to my point. Watch. So he tells them what Torah says about what he must do as the Son of Man and as the Messiah. He agrees, yes, I'm the Messiah, this is going to happen to me. And that's verse 22. In verse 23 he says, and he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his stake. That's what that word cross is really. A pole is a stake. Every day, that's the word daily, and follow me. See it? So then he says, for whosoever will save his life will lose it. But whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. And then here comes the question that I'm going to answer in the next video. Here comes the question. For what is a man advantaged? If he gains, that means get, acquires, possesses the whole world. First of all, stop. The Messiah is not just talking, just to be talking. He's telling the truth. The Messiah is trying to get us to see something. He said, for what is a man advantaged if he gain the whole world? And lose himself. Or be cast away. In the next video, we gotta answer this question right here. Ooh, if this video has stimulated any type of thought and made you look at this chat and these words, made you stop for a moment and actually see it like you've never seen it before. We give our body our praise, and I'm going to ask you to support the work of the art. Support what we're doing, trying to reach the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And of course, we live and exist through the tithes and the offerings. How to support is in the chat. And y'all stay tuned. We're going to get to that. Continue to pray for me, and I'll pray for you. One love. One love always. But these are some important kingdom questions that really do need an answer. We're going to answer. Shalom.